defensive meltdown, when other teams would fall apart, Real Madrid discovered its solution not with the checkbook, but at home. In the shadows of the Santiago Bernabeu, a talent had been simmering, biding his time. He's being heralded around the world as the next Sergio Ramos. He said, "It's an honor to be compared to Sergio Ramos. Furthermore, he's a role model. But I'm Raúl Asencio, and I'll do my career the best way." This is not the story of the next Ramos. This is the story of the first Asencio, a 22-year-old defender who never so much as touched the ball before Monday, who stepped up when Madrid most needed him, and who played like he'd been doing it all his life. Raúl Asencio de Rosario's odyssey started long before the splendor of the Bernabeu. Born and raised in the Canary Islands, a growing Raúl played for Las Palmas in his early years, developing a unique style that married island flair and traditional Spanish technique. Scouts from La Fábrica, the youth academy of Real Madrid, saw something special in this young defender. He was just 13 years old. And they noticed not merely his skill, but a caliber of leadership uncommon in players so young. Then came Madrid, the call, and Asencio left his island home for Spain's capital, pursuing a dream that felt almost impossible. But Raúl's journey was never easy. Unlike in Barcelona, where prodigies like Xavi and Andres Iniesta were given a chance in the first team as teens, there was no way through the youthful, thunderously crammed center of Madrid's defense. He would have to wait. While players like Cubarsí made their Barcelona debuts age 16, Asencio had to bide his time, develop, and work. Asencio spent between 2017 and 2022 working his way up through Madrid's youth system, an accomplished defender awaiting a chance that just never materialized. In the background, the club was back to spending money on defensive talent. Madrid signed Eder Militao from Porto for almost 50 million euros in 2019, the same year Raúl turned 16. The same age Cubarsí appeared for Barcelona. The message appeared obvious. La Fábrica products could not go ahead of the line, regardless of how talented they were. Searching for minutes, Asencio spent the 2022 through 23 season on loan at third-tier side RSC International, making 29 appearances before rejoining Real Madrid Castilla. Yet, the first team still felt like a world away. If you're enjoying this story of perseverance, make sure to smash that like button and turn on notifications. There's plenty more where this came from. The figures behind Raúl Asencio's ascendance were a tale of rare excellence at every turn. In his first 2 years in La Fábrica's youth system, the numbers were already beginning to hint that something special was coming. In Asencio's final year with Real Madrid's B side, Real Madrid Castilla, he posted the following mind-boggling stats. A 92% pass completion rate, winning 76 of his aerial duels, and averaging an incredible 4.3 interceptions per match, the best of any defender in Segunda Division B. He also stood out for his discipline at youth level, racking up just 2 yellow cards in his 34 appearances in his final Castilla season, proving he could defend cleanly despite his aggressive style. Additionally, 6 of his defensive contributions came from set pieces, and he scored 4 goals and registered 3 assists there, this foreshadowing to his offensive prowess. Yet, it's his first-team statistics that really stretch the imagination for a 22-year-old defender in his first season. Asencio became a statistical anomaly in Madrid's first team. In only 24 appearances, it's a rate of 89% tackles won, the highest of any defender in La Liga with over 15 games played. His pass completion of 93% includes an extraordinary 87% on balls longer than 30 meters, better than most midfield playmakers. On the defensive side, he's been almost unassailable. Opponents dribble past Asencio only 0.3 times per 90 minutes. For context, the league average for center backs is 1.1. The numbers in the Champions League go up yet again. No errors leading to shots and more than 720 minutes of action against some of Europe's best attackers. The most telling, perhaps, is Madrid's record with and without him. A 78% win percentage and 0.7 goals conceded per game with Asencio starting, against 59% and 1.4 goals without him. The difference is so stark that data analysts have unofficially dubbed it the Asencio effect. What's really impressive about these figures is that they're even better than Ramos' statistics in his maiden campaign at Madrid. By the same age, Ramos had also shown promise, but hadn't dominated metrics in the way that Asencio has. At this rate, the numbers point to something that seemed altogether impossible a few mere months ago. Not only is Asencio following in Ramos' footsteps, he's on track to eclipse the legend's incredible legacy. But not everything went so smoothly in Asencio's development. Then in September 2023, a significant off-field incident almost derailed his career altogether. Asencio, along with 3 teammates, was arrested on suspicion of handing out an explicit video without her consent. And although he's not accused of being the filmmaker, Asencio was charged with distributing after he allegedly shared the video on WhatsApp. In February of 2025, a lower court rejected his motion to dismiss the case. This controversy left a black mark on his promising career. The white of Real Madrid's first team seemed a distant goal. The 2024-25 season had started well for Real Madrid until disaster struck on the first week of November against Osasuna. In a worst-case scenario, Lucas Vázquez was injured and Eder Militao tore his ACL. Adding that to long-term injuries to Dani Carvajal and David Alaba, and Madrid's defense was in disarray. And Carlo Ancelotti had to make a call. With few alternatives on the market, he turned to an unknown face from Castilla, Raúl Asencio. When Asencio took the pitch, few knew what to expect. Many felt that he was simply a stopgap solution, a warm body to fill the gap until reinforcements could be sourced in January's transfer window. But they couldn't imagine how wrong they would be. Madrid was thrumming with back-to-back embarrassments, a 4-0 loss at the Bernabeu to Barcelona and a defeat to AC Milan in the Champions League. And 9 goals conceded in 3 games made defensive stability a mere dream. Enter Asencio. They won 4-0 and kept a clean sheet. It was his first full match. Even more impressively, he provided an assist to the finest to Jude Bellingham, the Englishman's first goal in 3 months. And this was just the beginning. Asencio solidified Madrid's defense with his positioning, anticipation, and leadership. The crisis had suddenly stopped being a crisis. Madrid was not only surviving, it was thriving. Being a defensive player is only one aspect of what makes Asencio special. His entire game is a type of center back expected in the modern day that can do it all. Asencio was very notable, especially considering everyone was supposed to be on the same page. Even his assist for Mbappe against Manchester City in the Champions League was a perfect example of this quality. Taking a touch to bring the ball under control deep in his own half, Asencio looked up, saw Mbappe too high behind City's high line, and sent a round-the-world pass that sliced through the entire defense. One touch, one vision, one perfect delivery, and Madrid sent the Premier League champions packing. That ability to conduct with the ball at his feet has led to unavoidable comparisons with Sergio Ramos, but the similarities go beyond the surface. Both are natural leaders, both elevate their level in important contests, both have that uncanny sense of being in the right spot at the right time. Though the Ramos comparisons have not abated, Asencio is finding his own way. This is a man whose connection to the club runs deeper than even Ramos could lay claim to, because he is a pure La Fabrica product. The legendary defender, signed from Sevilla at 19, was a finished product. Asencio, in contrast, has been shaped in Madrid's image since his teenage years. A Madridista through and through, not the next Ramos, but the first Asencio. What's really impressive is what he's done in the little time he's had. Even if every point counts in the La Liga title race, Asencio's defensive solidity has been essential. His coolness under pressure saw Madrid through against Manchester City in the Champions League. Against a pair of rivals in consecutive clashes, one of them a historic rival, he's displayed the mentality of a veteran. If you're loving this deep dive into one of football's rising stars, hit that subscribe button now. We got new content dropping regularly, and you don't want to miss it. There are, however, those who believe the Madrid club has the better of the two talents. While Barca fans can celebrate their own defensive prodigy in Paul Cubarsí, the numbers tell an interesting narrative. Cubarsí has 3 assists in 38 appearances in all competitions, while Asencio has 2 in only 24 outings. Had Ramos been given the chance to start both El Clásicos, you can bet Asencio would have made a difference on both sides of the ball, terrorizing Barca's box with those video game perfect passes. This budding rivalry between two young Spanish defenders figures to be a defining aspect of El Clásico for years to come. Cubarsí may have punched above his weight earlier, but Asencio's ceiling seems boundless. While he's had extraordinary success at the club level, Asencio's international career with the Spanish national team hasn't exactly been smooth. Being the only one to have played for Real Madrid who keeps getting summoned to squads in recent times, sources around the defender are informing that he feels neglected and ostracized. Asencio has felt isolated and without allies, reportedly because the Spain camp is being ruled by Barcelona players. Far from the brotherhood he finds at Madrid, the national team has become a source of discomfort, not pride. This sort of isolation raises questions of unity within La Roja. Can a group filled with club loyalty really compete on the highest international stage? And what does that say about Spanish football when one of its shining talents feels unwelcomed simply because of the crest on his club shirt? At 22, Raúl Asencio is at the start of what promises to be an extraordinary career. With the calmness of a veteran and the zeal of youth, he embodies the textbook contemporary defender, tough in the tackle, calm on the ball, and intelligent in his positioning. Unlike Ramos, who grew into a goal-scoring threat as his career wore on, Asencio already has the passing range that most midfielders would kill for. Add his defensive skills, and it's easy to see why Madrid regards him as a cornerstone for at least the next decade. The attacking potential is what should be the most exciting for Madrid supporters. With a pair of speedsters like Vinicius Jr. and Mbappe making runs behind high defensive lines, Asencio's pinpoint long balls could become one of Madrid's most devastating weapons in the years ahead. Raúl Asencio's is a story of talent found and found again. It's about the patience rewarded, about making the most of an opportunity when it finally comes, and about a club learning to trust its academy when the skies darken. In an age of €100 million transfers and quick fixes, Asencio offers an alternative: the value of development, patience, and an abiding faith in homegrown talent. He walked onto the biggest stage when his club needed him most and played as though he had spent his entire life on it. Not as a new Sergio Ramos, but as a first Raúl Asencio, Madrid's new gladiator, La Fabrica's pride, and Bernabeu's future. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss another deep dive into football's most fascinating stories. Drop a comment below with your thoughts on Asencio. Is he really the future of Madrid's defense? Could he surpass Ramos as Madrid's greatest defender? Let us know. Until next time, this has been Real Madrid's Raúl Asencio is a human cheat code. Thanks for watching.